What is up, Shadowverse soldiers? Before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I am now doing webcam locals. We're going to be hosting it on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're in the Shadowverse community Discord, and everyone is welcome. So the link is in the description. I will hope to see you guys on Thursday. What is up, my Shadowverse soldiers, and welcome back to another Shadowverse Evolved video. So last time we were talking about Runecraft and all the spells that it got and all the new followers, and now we're on Swordcraft. So Swordcraft is known for its tempo, keeping, in time with other decks, and, most of its search, you can search out most of your units in it. So I'm wondering what Swordcraft is going to play for the new Pretty Derby stuff. I don't know if there's going to be some princess followers, so you can search out with Main Leader and Main Getter and stuff like that. You know what I mean, guys. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so the first card we have is Air Groove. So you feed her once and then she'll begin racing. And when its follower begins racing, give it +1/+1 and then select up to one other follower on your field and refresh it. It can't attack this turn. Alright, so the first combo I can think of when I see this card, I feel like, hey, let's abuse this rush. I'm going to use Swordsman if I have it on the field to engage them to swing at something. And then you can also just, play Air Groove, feed her, make her racing. She's a 3/3, so she's probably going to handle the body in these early turns. And engage that follower and then, swing at it and get rid of it. So that's the first combo that comes to mind. So what else that she can do? I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know, stop people from swinging at like Albert or something. But that's really the only combo I think I could think of off the top of my head. Alright, and the next card we have is Baiko Pegasus. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing. And when this follower begins racing, you may select the enemy follower on the field and engage it. Alright, so we got another swordsman, just not on the play. The fact that it's a 1-drop 2/1 is good too, because it helps with the aggression of Swordcraft. So it looks like Swordcraft is going to keep, hey, these are the 1-drop bodies, and then we're going to get into the bigger ones, and the bigger ones are going to be more lethal. So it looks like they're keeping traditional with the Swordcraft stuff. Alright, next up we have Fuji Kaseki. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing. And you can also activate for 3 play points and engage this card, and then you select the enemy follower on the field and deal it 3 damage. Alright, so this is one of the cards that Swordcraft needs. Now, in terms of, tapping 3 to do 3 damage, that seems like a lot. But for Swordcraft, this is something that they needed. They need more removal. Unbridled Fury is a card, and, depending on how many followers you have on the field, Unbridled Fury and Floral Fencer is really like the biggest removal, besides, Alexander. But we're talking about these early turns, so hey, I'm going to spend 2. I have a guy that can also race, and then if I just keep this guy on the field, I can just keep pinging things for 3. So, against Abysscraft, this is actually a pretty good card. So, I don't mind pinging 3 to those evolved followers, and then, swinging face, and you have to deal with this, or you're going to take another 3. That just seems like the perfect instance for Swordcraft, and it looks like it has an answer for Abysscraft. Alright, and we have Hishi Amazon. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing. She also has Rush, and when she comes into play, you can spend 3 play points and search your deck for a Usimune follower that costs 3 or less and put it onto your field. Alright, so 2 bodies. We like that. We like that in Swordcraft. We love flooding the field, and that's something Swordcraft will always do, with Floral Fencer. Now we have like a, Pretty Derby Floral Fencer, but, she's a little more costly, so it's for the late games. You can have flex situations where you can play the follower that engages something, or you can play the follower that deals 2 damage, with the 3. You can really set up your board with how you want it to. And that's something Swordcraft needs. And if Leonidas is still good going forward, this is absolutely going to be a broken combo. Because you're going to, tap 3 for this, and then tap 3 for another follower, and they're going to get those +3/+3 and then that rush. So I would love to see that combo in the future. Alright, and next up we have Narita Bryan. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing. She has Bane, Ward, and Aura. You can also activate to engage this card. You select an enemy leader or enemy follower on the field and deal it 5 damage. Alright, so this is a lot for Swordcraft. This is a lot for an 8-drop. And the fact that, if Leonidas is going forward, this is going to be an even crazier card. So, let's go over it one more time. She has Bane, Ward, and Aura. So she's not affected by skills. She's Ward, so if you attack into her, it's gonna stop your turn for a little bit, because 100% it's not gonna, you can't just choose it to be destroyed. And then it has Bane, so whatever it swings against, or it swings on, it's going to destroy it. So this is definitely going to be a big card. And also on top of that, you can engage it, so you don't have to worry about the ward that first turn. And you can deal a leader or an enemy follower 5 damage. Good gracious, this card does a lot for 8, and this is something Swordcraft needed. I feel like this can be a really spicy one-of card. Instead of running like Tsubaki, Tsubaki's nice with the storm and everything, but to like hold up someone's turn like that, and then still doing damage that turn, and like whether they're followers or they're leaders, this is a really good card. I feel like it's going to be very good. And then you don't even have to worry about doing the activate thing, because it can also race and destroy a follower if there's really a problem on the field. So this Narita Bryan is absolutely good. I think I would put one of in my deck if I'm going to run Swordcraft, but we'll have to see in the new Pretty Derby list that I'm going to be dropping. Alright, and next up we have Narita Taishin. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing. She has Rush. So this is a little 2-drop vanilla. It really feels like a 2-drop vanilla, but this is another follower you can get off of with Amazon. So it needed targets. So targets like this, like the little vanillas that are 2-drops, 3/2s, it's cute, it has Rush without having the racing effect is pretty nice. So this is a target for Amazon. Alright, and next up we have Pressured by the Approaching Heat. So you select a follower on your field and give it Storm. If it's a Usumuni follower, give it +1/+1. Alright, so Swordcraft now has a 2-drop spell that says, hey, give this follower Storm. This is going to be a little scary because, you're not going to be playing the same game against Swordcraft now with this card around. You're like, alright, so I need to see if I can take at least, one swing now. If it's a Usumuni follower, then it's pretty cooked. If you're playing this along with another Usumuni follower, they're going to be swinging for some big damage. Or if you can pair this with Amazon, it'll definitely be a problem, because if you play Usumuni follower that gives you a buff or some sort of plus up, and then you give that follower another plus up. I'm glad this card didn't get printed with what the Forestcraft cards are doing, because that would have been absolutely ridiculous, that crazy combo that's going on in Forest. But Swordcraft looks like it's gonna have a nice combo where, hey, you need to watch out for what I do now, because if you don't have any sort of response, I'm gonna drop a follower and it's gonna be able to swing face and probably end the game if I need to, so watch out for that. Alright, and next up we have Sirius Symbali. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing, and she has Bane. So Swordcraft now has some good removal in terms of a 4-drop. So if they want to remove anything off the field, that being a ward or something, like, they can set up their turn pretty nicely, because if they're on 5, they can spend, and that's the really awkward turn for Swordcraft. So if you're dropping a ward and they already have their huge floor fencer out on the field with their bodies, you can drop this the next turn, use that carrot to give the racing, swing through that ward, and then swing face the rest of the cards. So now, it's really good that Swordcraft has some removal, because that's one of Swordcraft's weakest thing is hard removal. Alright, and we have Symbali Rudolph. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing, and then she has last words to search your deck for a Tokai Teo, reveal it, and add it to your hand. So when this card dies, it's going to search for another card, and that's something that Swordcraft thrives on, is searching for all the cards that they need in their deck, and that's pretty good. This card follows exactly what Swordcraft wants to do. It's, hey, I'm going to play this 3-drop, and when this 3-drop passes, I'm going to search my deck for what I need. So that's Swordcraft. Alright, and here's the search target, Tokayo Teo. So you evolve over 2, and you can feed her once, and then she'll begin racing. But when you play her, you select the enemy follower on the field and deal it X damage. X equals double the number of followers on your field. Alright, so it looks like those Amelia Floral Filter Evolve plays are going to really pay off, guys, because now we have a body that says, hey, I played all these things on this past turn. If you don't deal with them, I'm going to be dealing damage to something on your field, especially like a big follower, or, even better if you're doing this into a ward. So, I like this archetype. It looks like it's going to be, fixing what's wrong with Sword. Hey, instead of trading my bodies, I have bodies that actually deal damage now. So I'm liking that for Swordcraft. Alright, and we have Tokayo Teo's Evolved. So, you pay that 2 after you pay the 5, and then she has Storm, so she can swing. And, look at this. This is a 5/5, so we're going to be swinging for 1/4 of HP. It may not be, Forte, guys, but this is pretty good for Sword. You have a 5-drop that, you don't really need to do the damage, but if you need to swing 5, your opponent has 5 health left, this can be a really, snappy, Tsubaki. She's a little expensive, but all the rest of the other plays seems pretty nice. So we now have a little version of Forte in terms of Sword. Alright, next up we have Trial Initiation with a wall of text. So you can choose one of the following effects. You can 1. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and you may reveal an Usamune card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Or you can 2. Select a BNW follower into your cemetery and put it into your hand. So there's only 2 other BNW followers I can think off of the top of my head, and that's the winning ticket, or the the follower that belongs with this set, the leader of this set. I can't believe it. I think it's Natisha Taishin, I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not a Pretty Derby. I don't know the cards off by heart. I'm so sorry, but those are the 2 followers I think you're going to be getting. The first one I don't really know, and the second one just has Rush, I believe. Alright, and we have winning ticket. So you feed her once and this follower begins racing. She has Storm, and then when she comes into play, with Trial Initiation and Narita Taishin are in your cemetery, give this follower +3/+1. Alright, so it looks like that if you're playing the Pretty Derby line, you're going to need the requirements of both of these to turn her into a 5/3. But if you run her in the regular sword line with Leonidas Resolve, it looks like that she's going to be even stronger, because that Leonidas Resolves gives everything +3/+3 and then Rush. But she has Storm, so she's going to be swinging for a quarter of HP if you play her after Leonidas Resolve. And being a 5/5, that's definitely a problem. A 5/5 with Storm, though. If y'all know me, that's Runeblade Summoner numbers, so that's also another quarter of your HP. So it looks like most of these cards, the Takai Teo is going to be swinging for 5. Winning ticket, if you run it in whatever line you do, you're going to be swinging for quarter 2. So it looks like Takai Teo and winning ticket are going to be hand in hand for what you want to do with Swordcraft. Alright guys, well this is the last card. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to do in the future. We finished the reveals. I'm ready to see what you guys do and concoct for December 8th when the set drops. Make sure you pick up your boxes. We need the support for the game. And if you love the game like I do, just keep playing it. Alright guys, make sure you're safe in whatever you do tonight, and safe whatever you do for the rest of the year. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
I gave you all my love, baby, my heart is cold when you're around. You warm it up, liquid gold, baby, yeah, you warm it up, liquid gold, baby, and my affection, all that paper you wasted. Take my love.